afford it right now, but I would love to go back to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we are preparing to go live now. So
live.
Oh man,
I see the little live on my screen.
Okay, we might be live now. Who knows?
We might be live. Hi, if we're live. Hello, everyone who's here. Don't know.
Yes. Let's see. Is anybody here now? Nobody is here yet. So
Not
there's
yet.
That.
That's all right.
At least there's that. Yeah, nobody here still. Weird.
I'll send out another tweet. I just sent out the flyer again like an hour ago. We are also like strangely pretty on time too. We're usually running a little bit late, so
usually I get like a count, and I don't have a count going on right now. So I don't know what's going on. I don't exactly know what's going on. Maybe nobody's watching. Maybe somebody's watching. In any case, we should get started because I've got that. Matt, I just want to make sure I can be able to see the chat if it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there are a couple people here. I can see people talking to each other at least. Hello, hi, Matcha,
hello.
Hi, KC, Connor, hello, Jennifer, hello, Tommy, hello, everybody. So we've got some people here.
Hey, guys.
I don't know what's going on with the viewer count, but I can at least tell that people are here. Hopefully you can hear us okay. That would be great. If you have a problem with the sound, just let us know in the comments.
Let us know. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So, Liz, how you been? We're gonna get into it in a second.
Good.
But how you been?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Considering, I'm fine. I've talked to a couple friends recently about how it's a weird kind of idea, like the idea of saying like I'm doing well or I'm doing okay seems really strange right now. But I'm good. I'm safe. So
good. Glad to hear that.
Not everybody is.
Yeah, well, exactly. And the world, America specifically is just, I don't know. It's a shit show right now. So it feels a little weird doing like a lighthearted booze podcast. We're gonna do it for you, but I don't want to do it like unaware of what's going on in the world. Like I just, this fucking bullshit. I think the people that are rioting right now have a right to riot, and everybody has the right to feel angry and upset right now. And we're gonna, drink some drinks and have a little powwow here and talk and stuff. But like, you feel however you want to feel right now because you have every reason to. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, well, we're doing a choose your own booze adventure today. And instead, we did one based off of the sour build before, and now we're going to do one off of the old-fashioned build. I was going to say choose your own adventure, and then I realized that it is trademarked by the Choose Your Own Adventure books.
To say choose your own adventure?
It has it's trademarked. It has like a TM. So I don't know what that means if like I can't. I just in case I didn't put it in any.
What about choose your own brew venture?
Ooh, I like that.
All right, we'll do that.
Own brew venture.
All right. So nice. If you tuned in for our sours episode, we talked about how there's just a lot of basic structures of cocktails, basic formulas that run through most cocktail menus that you might not be aware of, and those are they're very malleable. You can do lots of different things with them. So we talked about this in the sour. There was a formula there. We're going to talk about another one of those formulas, and I know we've done an episode on the old fashioned, but I really wanted to do an episode demonstrating like how like flexible the old-fashioned build can be. So when we're talking old fashions, obviously historically we're talking about whiskey, Angostura bitters, and sugar, with an orange peel traditionally. But those basic four ingredients can be changed up a lot. So your base spirit, you don't have to use whiskey. You can use rum. You can use tequila. You can use aquavit. You can use, cachaça. You can use all sorts of stuff. Your bitters can be anything. You can use Ango. You can use orange. You can use Peychaud's. You can use, yuzu bitters, chocolate bitters, all kinds of bitters. For your sweetening agent, kind of like with a sour episode, you can use white sugar syrup. You can use demerara. You can use, a honey syrup, an agave syrup, any kind of syrup. And then even for the twist, you can use a lemon twist, a lime twist, a grapefruit twist, an orange twist. There's lots of variables there. So what we're going to do tonight is just kind of push that formula a bit to its limits and see like what kind of weird, fun shit we can come up with. And just to show you watching at home that it is a very, very flexible, malleable, easily adaptable to your home bar, your quarantine bar, whatever you got at home right now, situation. That sound good?
Awesome.
All right.
I'm excited. So, dang it, we didn't talk about who's going first. I feel it's always forget to do that.
Sorry.
Bless you.
And I'm the only one that lives here, so I guess that's fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying.
Oh, I was saying we briefly chatted about what spirits we each have, but we didn't decide who was going first. So,
yeah.
But I would love if you would like to go first to really show us how it's done.
Well, look, I know we've done episodes. We've definitely shown y'all how to do a classic old fashioned with whiskey, Angostura bitters, simple syrup, and orange twist. So, and we've also talked about the Oaxacan old fashioned before too. So we kind of covered a lot of the popular iterations. So I kind of just want to dive in to into the unknown and see what I can come up with by using some of the base spirits I pulled out here, some of the bitters and some of the sweeteners. So what do I have here immediately? What's this? Okay, so I've got a green tea honey syrup that
Cute.
I think would be fun. I have a lot of brown spirits here. I have some mezcal, some tequila. I have some cachaça. You know what? And it's funny because it's literally the thing that I said I wasn't going to do. But I do have some Roku gin, which is it's a Japanese gin. So I don't know. Like part of me wants to make a weird Japanese gin old fashioned.
Yeah.
Oh, but maybe that's a gin old fashioned is too much of a jump in. Let's stick with a rum. So I think I'm gonna play up the grassiness that we've learned. So I've got my Nova Fogo cachaça. That's pretty grassy. It has a light brightness to it. I think it's gonna pair really well with this green tea syrup. And then I'm gonna cut it with. How about I got some eucalyptus bitters that I'm excited by, and I'm gonna garnish that with a lime. Awesome. Yeah. So I'm gonna use those so this is about as far off as a traditional old fashioned as you can get. I've got a different base spirit, a different bitter, a different sweetener, and a different twist. But I feel like, and I've never done these ingredients together before, but I feel like based on what I know about the structure, it's gonna work out just fine. So I'm going to get my jigger. I'm going to use just a 1/4 ounce of sweetener here. Like 2 or 3 dashes of bitters. And then a full a heavy 2.5 ounces of cachaça.
Stir it up. You got a lime there.
I don't know. Why not?
Yeah. Okay.
Do a lime twist. So here's my green tea cachaça eucalyptus old fashioned, and we're gonna see how well the structure holds up.
All right.
That is, I would drink this before I drink a classic old fashioned.
Really?
It's very dry. It's very grassy. It kind of elevates the spirit without taking it over. And I think that's the goal of what you want to do with an old fashioned. You kind of have to start with a good spirit. And when you look at it's always good to think about what are we really trying to do when we add things to spirit. So in the case of the old fashioned, there's really 4 components going into it. You've got your base spirit, and you have to think about like what has to be tamed from that. You've got some sort of sweet element that can provide just sweetness or perhaps another element. You've got your bitter element, pretty self-explanatory. And then your twist, which is adding like your acidity, it's another layer of like freshness, like bitterness, but it's fresh. So you kind of have to think about all those things in balance with each other. And I think what works about this random experiment is really nice because there's so many levels of like nice fragrant grassiness with the eucalyptus and the even the lime twist, the cachaça, the green tea. But there's also a lot of sweetness to the cachaça. There's a lot of sweetness to the green tea syrup. Yeah. So you've got like this sweet grass kind of flavor to it that balances out. So you do it's not that you can just kind of go willy-nilly with this build, but you can be pretty flexible as long as you're aware as what each thing is bringing to the palate. Willy-nilly. That was fun to say.
I like that you said willy-nilly. And I'm a little bit nervous because I think I might have, with one of the ideas that I came up with, I think I might have gone willy-nilly.
Great. So I like it. I'm down. I mean, this is, like I said, I would drink this before I would order an old fashioned, and an old fashioned is my classic go-to. But I think if I could walk in a bar. Oh yeah. Well, and I mean, a lot of times I make home drinks, but I would never drink at a bar because I never want to be that person that walks into a bar and tells a bartender what to make me. 2 ounces of this and a 1/4 ounce of this, and do you have eucalyptus bitters? You don't want to ever be that person.
No.
If you had a unique drink at another bar, don't assume you can get it made at another bar. Usually specialty menus are specialty for a reason. They're importing special ingredients. They're making special ingredients. So that's, but this is something I'll make myself again. All right, Liz,
nice.
Why don't you hit me up with what you got going on?
Oh, okay. I'm a little nervous. So I wanted to make a rosemary syrup, so I did that. And then I thought about what would go well with that, what spirit would go well with that. And I kind of just wanted to do something play up the botanical things. So I know this is a savory herb, but just go. I got some gin. I got some regular ass Bombay gin. Bombay's not it's not the most interesting gin, but it's a fine gin. It's okay. Don't tell Bombay I said that. They're fine. They're absolutely fine. So I was thinking about these 2 things together. And I also picked up, because I don't really have a big variety of bitters. So I picked up, because I know it's like kind of something that we've talked about is like something to really expand your bar, like Ango's gonna be like the first one you want to get, but orange bitters is also something that's like really kind of an essential after that.
And Regan's, you've got the good stuff. Angostura makes their own orange bitters, but the Regans that's the one you want to buy. You get the option.
I did something good. Good. Wonderful.
You do many things good.
I don't know. I don't know. What? Of Regan's? Well, maybe I'm doing my own. By the way, there's wine in the fridge. It's open. Drink it, please.
Liz has people in their life.
Yes. Well,
I don't know what that's like anymore.
She lives here, so it's okay that we're socializing. Yeah. So I don't know how these things, I kind of went by instinct of what I thought would go together, but I'm not really sure if I did a good thing. I think I have gone willy-nilly, as you said.
Yeah, willy-nilly.
So I'm going to try that. See what happens. So I've got the rosemary syrup. How much syrup did you do?
1/4 ounce.
1/4 ounce. Okay, good. Thank you. I needed to remind. Oh my goodness. I haven't even opened these bitters.
Woo, fresh new bitters.
Fresh bitters.
Woo.
Uh-oh. I remembered to open everything else, but I forgot to open the bitters. Good thing I remembered a knife this time. Oops. Put a few dashes of that in there. And I'll go ahead and do 2 ounces of gin. And stir it up a little bit. I should hold this up so you can see what I'm doing. And awesome. So I kind of think maybe I should have had an orange, but I don't have an orange. I have a lemon. So I'm going to give myself a little lemon twist. Nice. I'm very interested to see how this is going to go. I have no idea. I didn't test this.
I'm curious because I'll be honest, like I was talking to one of my coworkers earlier. We're doing to-go cocktails at my bar. So we're like having limited, like 2 people there at a time, like selling stuff. But it's nice to see a human, so that's cool.
Yes.
But I was talking about this episode, and she was like, well, what are you going to do? I'm like, well, I don't know anything, but I guess vodka and gin is an old fashioned. And then you were like, but gin. I'm like, fuck it, yeah, do it.
I mean, this is what this is about. This is about experimenting. So cheers to that. We'll see.
All right, you got everything in there? How is it?
Hey, it's not bad. I would drink this.
Oh, that's a great review.
Although, great review. Yeah.
Fragrant, like grassy. What you got?
Yes,
give me some words.
Yes, words would be good. I think that actually the rosemary is the thing that's pulling it together. And it's like fragrant and savory.
Ooh,
I guess it's kind of like, yeah,
nice.
yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm not mad at it. I like it. So there, for all the non-believers, you can make I would not call this an old fashioned, although it is based on a build, but I don't know.
It is an old fashioned.
It is.
Because you use the formula. Like old fashioned, the term itself, we talked about this a bit in the old fashioned episode, but the term itself refers to the old fashioned preparation of a spirit. So it was literally just have a spirit, temper it with a little bit of bitters and a little bit of sugar to make it digestible first thing in the morning when you're up at 8 a.m. and you're going to work and your doctor prescribes you to have some whiskey. This is the time period that this drink comes from. So if somebody ordered an old fashioned at your bar and you made them like a gin situation and they were like, no, would they be right? Yes. But in modern terms, old fashioned means one thing. But in the classical sense, old fashioned is actually just a preparation of a base spirit with bitters and sugar. So
thank you. I feel better.
I think to me, because this was a big breakthrough in my cocktail knowledge, I used to try to like cram just every cocktail build into my head. And it was so hard because it was just like, I don't know, I just have to memorize like 200 recipes until I realized that of those like 200 recipes that I should know, they all fall into like one of 4 or 5 categories. So that's really what these specific videos are about, are introducing you not to recipes specifically, but to formulas that represent entire like swaths of classic cocktails. And this is one of those builds. Like you see so many drinks. Yeah. And like on classic menus, I've gotten good at like doing the math. So I'll see something that's like, like rum, whiskey, like cinnamon syrup, bitters. I'm like, oh, that's a split base old fashioned. Like that's what that is. Because you can do that too. And we'll get into that. Like you can take the same build and use an ounce of one spirit, an ounce of other spirit, some simple syrup, and some bitters, and make a split base old fashioned, which sounds even fancier, but you're still operating off that same idea. It's a basic structure that you can trust will usually deliver you a good drink.
I love that. I think that, you know what, and I wanted to talk about this because this is something that I thought when we did the sour build episode that I did like my bar knowledge is mostly from consuming it and being around the bar because I worked in service, but I mostly did cocktailing and waiting and stuff like that. I was behind the bar a few times and like for kind of brief stints and special events and stuff like that. And when I was trying to learn cocktails, I never had that kind of education that like there are formulas for classic cocktails that a lot of other cocktails are based on. And if I had understood that, I think I would have picked it up much sooner to be able to kind of like recognize the way that things are structured like that. I know that's not true for all cocktails, but a lot of them are like, or that is at least like one part of it that I think would have made my life a lot easier if I had that knowledge.
Well, and to be frank, I think we're moving away from this, but I think in the past, especially like post like early 2000s, like that pretension that we've talked about before in the bar world, which my ultimate position is pretension was necessary in the bar world to gain respect for a culture that was lost. But we're kind of moved past that. I think people respect bartenders. But I think a big part of that pretense, that need to like separate ourselves and say, we're doing something different than what you understand, is the mystery, is not making it easy to understand. And the ability to classify drinks into structures and make it just sort of a system of formulas to learn ultimately makes our craft a little bit easier to pick up. And there was a time period where to gain the traction to reestablish it as something that should be respected, we had to kind of I feel like we kind of had to keep it like, oh, we're doing something magical. It's like, no, we just read some books that, you guys didn't read. But like, we're past that. And I say we, like, that's even before my day and age. Like, I kind of bridged the gap between the people that had to do that in the 90s and the early 2000s, and I'm one of the newer bartenders. It's like, I want to teach everybody how to do everything I can do. I want everybody to know everything I can do. And that's because I've been lucky enough to like have respect given to my craft as like a young bartender. And like it's a little bit different of a, so I do, but I do think what you're saying is like, I don't think it's like not a new thing that we know these structures exist. I do think it's a new thing that we talk about them, because I can look at so many high-end, like $16, $20 a glass cocktail menus and go, oh, that's a sour. That's a sour with some Prosecco. That's an old fashioned build with a split base. That's a Negroni build with a fourth ingredient. Like a lot of these drinks, I mean, it's not even like, it's not saying that that they're not worthy. It's that's just what that's what we do. Every good bartender should have that understanding. And I think anybody that wants to be a home bartender, that you'll benefit from learning these structures. But, you know, there was a period of time where it benefited the community to keep it as something that we understood that other people didn't. So, I don't know. We're not there anymore, but I don't think I think that the pretension and the lack of bar education is related to elevating the status of bartenders, which was necessary, but not anymore. Anyway, yeah. So now I want everybody to know how to make drinks. Yeah. I think everybody should know how, and I don't embrace or agree with pretension in the bar world. I never have, but I respect what happened before me. That's more. Like, it's not my thing, but I get why people had to do that to get some respect back for the industry, because it was lost for decades.
That's fair.
Yeah. So that in mind, I mentioned split base, and I think that's a great idea, but I think this would be a cool opportunity to bring in the people watching and let them make some decisions for me. This is a choose your own adventure thing. So the idea behind a split base is that you use 2 different spirits to form that 2 ounces that's your basis for your old fashioned. So I want to open up suggestions from the watchers right now. I'm gonna mute my phone so that doesn't make a sound anymore. So I have some mezcal, I have some bourbon, I have some Applejack, I have some aquavit, I have rye. Over on my shelf, I've got more stuff. I've got some Irish whiskey. I've got, you want to stick with base spirits for this? I got scotch. I've got gin. I've got vodka. So what, like, I think let's give me 2 spirits to work with.
If they choose 2 spirits, that's going to be a challenge enough that you're going to find things to pair with those.
All right.
You're taking on a challenge.
I am. Well, it already looks in the comments. I've already got the Applejack. Applejack seems to be a favorite. Applejack and Rye. Somebody else suggested mezcal and scotch.
I think you like that.
I think Applejack and Rye and mezcal and scotch are both really smart combinations. A lot of people are interested in the Irish whiskey, vodka plus Irish whiskey plus some mint syrup. I do have a bourbon mint syrup here. I think actually the Irish whiskey I have is the Caskmates. It's the stout Irish whiskey. So I think Irish whiskey, mint syrup, chocolate bitters would be really good. So I don't know. I think these are all great suggestions. Let's work through some of these. We're gonna start with the Applejack and Rye. I like the mezcal and scotch for me personally, but I like the challenge of the Irish whiskey, because that's not something I usually put in old fashions. It's a little aggressive, but I'm down for it. So Applejack and gin. Michael, what are you doing to me?
Oh my God.
No, I like it. I love it. I don't think there's any spirit you can't mix with. I just think you have to have more knowledge for some spirits than others.
I would say that is not necessarily my reaction wasn't that it's wrong. It's that would be very challenging. That's a challenge to work with.
Well, but let's start with one of the first suggestions. That was Applejack and Rye. And I think that's a classic combo, actually.
Okay.
I can actually say I've done this before, so that's maybe why I was tender to it. It's that I have Applejack is a unique spirit, and that it's really bright and fruity, but it doesn't have a great full finish on it. So I think that actually Rye finishes it out really well. It doesn't round it out. It doesn't add sweetness. This combination makes a lot of sense because you're not getting sweetness from either of these. You can leave that up to your syrup. But the Rye adds that kind of nice savory finish to it that Applejack can be a little bit bright and fruity. And there's a difference between fruity and sweet. I think that people confuse those things, but fruity is not sweet and sweet is not fruity. So but I don't know. Okay. Oh, but here's a good. Okay, so I'm gonna do I've got Laird's Applejack. I've got Overholt Rye. But bitters though. So I've got some apple bitters, which seems to make sense. But I've also got we just used the eucalyptus bitters. I don't want to use those again. If you're really passionate about that, tell me. But I've got orange bitters. I've got Mexican chocolate bitters. I've got tiki bitters.
Mexican chocolate bitters.
Yeah, burlesque bitters, which are like super floral and like they're made with like long pepper, so they're slightly numbing. So somebody shout out a bitter. I've got dandelion bitters. That could maybe work. Somebody shout out a bitter. I'm going to start building this drink with my 1-to-1 ratio of Applejack to Rye. And I'm going to wait for one of you to tell me. Oh, Michael. Okay, Michael, let's see the eucalyptus bitters. Okay, I'm down. I mean, they're good. They're fucking good.
I hope that I can try those at some point. I am very curious about them.
There's some of my favorite. Eucalyptus is hard to work with. If you can find it dry, like it's a good product. But these are by Hello Bitters. I'm just gonna hold up the screen. I might not use them, but I do think you all will really like them. They're really good for like if you want an aromatic like vegetal quality without having to work with fresh herbs. They're just really good. Right. So I've got a 1-to-1 ratio of my Applejack to my Rye. All right. Based on suggestions. Tiki. Okay, so for this, I don't know. I'm curious.
I like that suggestion of putting the Mexican chocolate bitters with the Scotch and mezcal.
I think that is definitely going to happen.
All the bitters.
Yes.
What?
I think. Actually, I was going to say the tiki bitters sound safer, but the first suggestion was the eucalyptus bitters in this thing that we're doing, and I think that's down. Let's just do it. Let's figure out how it tastes. It'll have like there's nothing bright and grassy about either of these spirits, so who knows? Maybe it'll be fun. I love this shit.
I'm so curious of what that's gonna do.
I don't know, but while I'm doing that, because my go-to would probably be like the apple or the chocolate, but while I'm doing that, you all tell me what simple syrup to use. So I've got maple, I've got grenadine, I've got cinnamon, I've got mint, and then the jasmine we've already used. Let's not use the green tea again. But I've got mint, cinnamon, grenadine, and maple. So why don't you tell me what simple syrup to use?
Ooh.
I was about to jigger my bitters. No, that's not how they work.
I'm scared of the mint option. I'll just put that out there. I'm scared of mint and eucalyptus.
I don't know. Let's see. All right, come on, y'all. Give me a syrup. A couple of people said cinnamon bitters. I don't actually have those, but I do have cinnamon syrup. So maybe I should go with the cinnamon syrup.
Oh, that's true. I mean the
maple syrup. I do agree. Will make this.
That too.
Okay. I've got a couple suggestions for maple, so we're gonna do maple. Like a weird
maple and eucalyptus.
I like this maple and rye and Applejack. That makes total sense. It's the eucalyptus. It's the fucking weird ass thing in here.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of digging it because there's one ingredient here that makes no sense.
We'll see. We'll see what that's like. Yeah, I think eucalyptus is the thing that's really the wild card in here. I have no idea.
When you're building a drink, you want to usually have. It's kind of. I always think about it when I'm watching. I love watching Chopped because I think a lot of times the cooks, like the judges, break it down to a lot of simple ideas. Like you need to have in every dish. You need to have acid. You need to have sweet. You need to have savory. You have fatty. You need to have like texture. Cocktails are hard because you don't have a lot of texture to play with. But I think everything else applies. And sometimes when we get so caught up in things that make sense together, like saying like whiskey, cinnamon, like chocolate, nutmeg, like we don't give anybody a break from all of those very heady flavors. So I kind of dig this because the eucalyptus is going to maybe be a break. It might be also awful, but luckily I'm the only person who's going to drink this. But who invited eucalyptus? Andrew Pear, but we did this.
He did. I like that. I like what you just said, because you're right. I think I lucked out by like trying to find things that went together, but not actually finding them. So, because you're right about that, like that when you just kind of play all on the same sort of like family of things, it's very flat.
I mean, to me, I don't know. I have a very specific brain and everything relates to everything else. It reminds me of when I'm painting and like I think of complementary and contrasting colors. Like I think that good cocktails require both things. You need things that make sense together as your base, and then you need one or two elements that go contrary to everything. That's how I think with cocktails. And like, you know, it's like if you've got a beautiful blue tone painting, you want a dash of like yellow or orange in there to like offset things. So I'm not against that. That being said, I'm the one that's gonna have to drink this, so we'll see.
I'm excited. Let's see.
I did a lemon twist because I have no reasoning for that. It just seemed fine at the time. I could have thought it through, but I didn't.
Your face is so interesting right now. You're searching. Oh, they go in for another sip.
Okay, so here's the thing. It's very... First off, I will say this. If I was served this in a cocktail bar, I would be totally fine and happy to drink it. I would happily pay for this drink. It's interesting because the amount of like bright like acidity that you get off of this, and I think it's a combination of the rye is very bright. The lemon twist was a choice that I made. Like that's adding to that. And the eucalyptus is definitely bright and grassy. So it's weird because there's a lot of like deep flavors here, but it plays really bright and acidic and lemony. Like this tastes to me like just a super bright lemony, like low sweetener old fashioned, which I'm kind of down for because I don't like my old fashioned super sweet. So I'm not mad at this. It's a fun experiment for how weird I think it could have gone. I think it's actually, and like I said before, this is a malleable cocktail structure. So putting eucalyptus bitters in place of Angostura, like you're not gonna fuck things up too much, and this is fun. This feels like if I was outdoors and it was hot, and somebody handed me this, I would be happier to drink this than drinking like rye old fashioned with Ango. This is a very refreshing, bright, like grassy.
It's a summer old fashioned.
Summer old fashioned with a lot of classic old fashioned ingredients too. It's very spicy too, like spicy and like the woody rye sense, which is nice. I like that.
Like that. That's cool.
Yeah. All right. Nice. So I survived my roulette. Where are you gonna go with this, Liz?
Okay. Well, I guess I could, if I didn't bring the mezcal over here. Actually, you know what? Give me 1 second because I'm going to grab a couple more things. I didn't exactly plan for the roulette, but I think I could round one up real quick.
Go for it. You do that, and I'm going to ask people for suggestions because I'm going to do one more drink.
Okay.
So Liz is going to come up next. Liz is going to make a drink. I don't know. I kind of want to get as weird as possible. I've got the Aquavit. I've got what else do I have that's weird? I've got moonshine. I've got gin. No, do I have it like this mint honey? I think I gotta use the mint honey because I have it special. It's leftovers from when I was building the menu for my restaurant. So I've got mint honey. And my brain says put that with bourbon and Ango and you're done, and that'd probably be delicious. But y'all are out there and you're you're dictating my actions. So we're gonna get back to what Liz is gonna do now, but help me figure out what to do with that mint honey, and we're gonna make it weird.
That sounds fun.
All right, Liz, what you got for us?
I brought a bunch of ingredients over, or a bunch of spirits over, and you tell me if some of these, because I know we talked about this, and we talked about the fact that, like, although this is a build, not everything is going to work. So I just want I want to give you first the authority to nix any of these, because I have some question marks on here. So the two that I know that are definitely options, I really have three that are definitely options. I have the other bottle of baby scotch that I didn't use.
I love baby scotch.
My baby scotch. And to be it's it needed a little buddy, so I got a little baby whiskey.
Baby whiskey.
This is made in Brooklyn. It's Van Brunt Stillhouse whiskey
Van
bourbon.
Brunt, yeah. Oh, I worked with them before. Yes, they're good dudes.
Nice. I grabbed the mezcal, but I think you might be called to do that. So,
well,
but it's here,
I think
so.
Somebody made a really good suggestion that I thought sounded tasty. Michael, that's you. Michael suggested moonshine bourbon, mint honey, and dandelion bitters. And I'm a West Virginia person. Like, that sounds very from my homeland that I kind of want to do. So you use your mezcal.
Mezcal's an option.
Mezcal's an option for you, because I think that sounds, I hope that works, because that sounds like something that, I don't know, like I would have envisioned in the backyard of my grandparents' house.
Yeah, I think that sounds awesome.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks everybody for your suggestions.
Thank you just for being here too, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Thank you you know what? I don't always like to join the chat. I get it. But thank you all for being here.
People are really happy that you can see the chat too. I just saw that.
I finally fixed that, guys. I will speak on it more at some time, but the tech thing has been a challenge for me lately. So yes, I can see the chat because I have two devices. That's how I figured that out.
Okay. So if you have any questions for Liz specifically, usually I'm the person that takes over questions. Ask Liz questions and we'll get back to them.
Yes. Anyway. I have three more things to show you that you might be able to say no to. I brought the Campari over just because I have it, but it's an aperitif. So probably no, or would you?
Well, look, that presents an interesting conversation about how the old fashioned relates to other stirred drinks, because it kind of brings to light when we're talking in the sour build, how if you swap out the sweetness in a sour for a sweet liqueur, you get a daisy. So it's a different cocktail build, but they're very close. And with this, and this is one of the things where I think like bigger cocktail knowledge requires not just these basic formulas, but how the formulas relate to each other. And so this is one of those relationships where when you take the sweetness out of an old fashioned and replace it with a liqueur, something like Campari or whatever, you usually have to change up the proportions, because most sweet liqueurs don't have the viscosity that syrups do. So you need a bit more to have the residual taste of sugar on your tongue.
Right.
Just purely some science shit. But
well, that's interesting, because I know we did talk about that, and that kind of moving into another family of cocktails, but I was wondering if you could use Campari as the base spirit, because it's not sweet. Like, it's not. No,
it's sweet and no. I mean, I'm down. Like, don't get me wrong. I would love to see you do a weird fucking thing.
It would be this instead of the syrup, you're saying.
Oh, I was thinking you were thinking that, but dude, if you want to try Campari as your base spirit, fucking go for it. I have never done that as an old fashioned, but I'm also
not advised.
No. I mean, you're going off the grid, but if you want to
totally
try
off the grid. I don't
think there's anything wrong with that.
I have a couple other question marks, because I also have the apple pear brandy
Well, that seemed very sweet. I think that would work really well as a split base, or even if you do it on your own. Actually, because I know you have other liqueurs, and as I just said, liqueurs. The problem with liqueurs is that they don't have the residual sugar. They don't have like the tactile sugar that syrups usually get. But if you're using a base spirit that has a lot more either added or residual sugar, those are different things in brewing, but that has more of a texture of sugar, you could use a liqueur and get away with it because you've got a base spirit that has that sugar to it. So you could maybe split base that with something else, with like your whiskey, like that and whiskey, and then like do like one of your syrups. But I don't know. I kind of I don't want to tell you what to do. I just want to see what you do.
Okay. Well, I wanted to put everything out there for you, Taylor, first, so that you could tell me if any ideas were not going to work, and then I was going to let people decide.
All right. I'm bad to be asked that. Okay, because I'm the wrong person to do this. Because I'm like, everybody should make drinks out of anything.
But I have a surprise ingredient.
But try.
Taylor, I have a surprise ingredient for you that I have not told you about yet. This came from this. I want to make sure that I remember. Sorry, that was anticlimactic. So somebody, we had a live stream that was really cool. And, well, I mean, hey, all of our live streams are cool.
Wait,
I was saying is somebody messaged us after we had talked about a particular spirit, and I have. I wanted to surprise you. I'm going to give it to you because I think that, but I've never tried it. So this is from Becky and Jennifer.
Okay.
So Becky, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. And also,
thank you.
So here's the thing about Malort. Malort is aggressive. I love it. I'm sad that it's not here and that it's there, but enjoy it. Take a shot right now. Let's see your Malort face. Do it. You don't have to do it. I won't force you to do it.
I've never done it before.
You're also in front of a lot of people. I'm going to tell you how to use Malort. Malort will work in an old fashioned very simply, actually very beautifully. But I'm going to tell you how to do that only after Liz takes a drink of it unknowingly. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay, yeah, just dive on in.
I'm scared. Okay, I'm gonna pour it into a glass.
I love Malort. Malort's one of my favorite spirits. I mean, literally.
I should take a shot of it. Is what you said?
Beautiful. Take a shot and show us your face.
Okay. I can't really smell that much. That was.
And it's gonna last. You're gonna be there for a minute. It's gonna keep going. It just lasts. The Malort finish just lasts.
What? What
it's
just
like
happened?
Absinthe, like on like steroids. It is.
Yeah. Because the immediate taste, I was like, oh, this is fine. This is great. I mean, not that it wasn't, I'll say this, like, it was not unpleasant. It was just, wow. My God. Wow. That was, wow. My words are wow.
I mean, look,
absinthe, just kind of like,
look, Malort. But the thing is, this is perfect for this episode because if you talk about like what would it do? Like a Sazerac. It's normally like an absinthe rinse on a lot of old-fashioned style drinks. So what I like to do is do a Malort rinse on a typical old-fashioned, and it provides a beautiful, like it provides so much flavor, like a Malort top, a Malort spritz, a Malort rinse. So let's walk you through. I wish I had the Malort, because what I would do right now, what Taylor would do is do a Malort rinse. I would do I would do like a part rye, a part mezcal, a Malort rinse. I would do grapefruit bitters, and I would do cinnamon syrup, and that's what I would do with a grapefruit twist. Because
that sounds amazing. Actually,
Malort, cinnamon, and grapefruit are best friends, and they love each other.
I love that.
Yes, but
I want to tell you that what I do have, I don't have all those things.
That's fine. I'm just so glad the Malort made it. I saw the message that was like, as the Malort made it, I was like, oh no, I hope it got here. But I knew you had the P.O. box. Yay! Thank you so much for saying.
Thank you so much. It was a surprise. I didn't tell Taylor, but it got here.
Oh my God! Yay!
Yeah. So now that I have experienced it, I will do a safe handoff to this, to you with this. But here's what I have. So I have the Malort, obviously. This might be the people's choice. Who knows? And I don't have rye, but I have bourbon, or I have the Scotch. Again, just giving y'all the options. I'm going to personally say not gin. I'm not giving you that option. Just used it. That's why.
Right, yeah.
And I've got the mezcal. Just like I kind of feel like I need it to be Malort centric. I'm going to make an executive decision and say I've got to do something with the Malort.
Okay, you're making a Malort old fashioned. All right, I'm down for this.
So
I'm so jealous. Ugh.
Don't worry. I'm going to share.
I'm also happy for you. I'm happy for
I knew that you'd want me to try.
Drinking. Anybody out there drinking Malort, I am happy for you. Okay, I'm happy for you.
Very happy. That was an interesting experience. Okay, so tell me, so y'all tell me in the chat, what am I going to split with the Malort?
So you're gonna do a split base. What else do you have?
I have the rye, and I have the Scotch, and I have mezcal, and I have apple brandy, but I don't know if that counts. Does that count? Let me see. Michael. Oh, that's funny. Michael says Campari plus mezcal plus 2 parts Malort.
That sounds like a hell of a drink.
Like a hell of a. We just call that drink a hell of a.
A hell of a. More Malort. Yes, just more Malort.
Just more Malort. Okay. Y'all. Okay. Mezcal.
Mezcal, apple brandy, double shot.
I'm hearing mezcal.
Malort. I mean mezcal's smoky. Like, why don't you use apple brandy counts? We just use Applejack, so probably too close. I think that's a fair point. Like, let's roll out the apple brandy because we just used it.
Okay.
Let's do the mezcal because we haven't talked about it. So we got a split base of Malort and mezcal. Oof. What do you
think about that?
I think I'm excited to see what you feel about this.
Okay, well, I have the rosemary syrup. I also have cinnamon syrup and mango syrup.
Oh, I would say cinnamon, but I don't want to say. I want to give time for responses from the crowd because I think y'all have a better idea. Like I say
Uh,
cinnamon because Malort and cinnamon
well,
make a lot of sense to me, but
I was thinking,
fuck
like,
it
here's the
up.
thing. When I thought I was just going to like plan these drinks out, I was like, I'm going to use the cinnamon and maybe I'll use it with the scotch and like kind of do like a cinnamony, smoky kind of thing. But then I was like, just to be fair, to like throw it in because we're doing a choose your own brew venture. Let me throw in that mango because it doesn't make sense.
Well, it looks like the crowd is suggesting cinnamon overall, and I agree with that.
Okay, good.
I think
Let's
you
do
should do
cinnamon then.
Yeah, let's do
Okay,
cinnamon.
so we're doing a split base of the mezcal and the malort with cinnamon syrup. And then my choices for bitters is I have the orange bitters, the very nice orange bitters. And then I have, now these say Jerry Thomas, but they are not. These are.
Those are what you got from my house. Those are Angus
Yes.
syrup put in a different bottle. Yes.
Okay, so these are Ango adjacent.
Yes.
They're Ango with the essence of Jerry Thomas.
Yeah, so those are baking spices like gentian, like orange peel, ginger. That's what those are. I think it worked very well.
Andrew said half cinnamon, half mango.
I mean, why don't you put in a dash? I mean, I'm not against a dash of mango. If this was shaken, I would be more okay. Anytime there's juice involved, I get a little. But you have a mango syrup, so I don't know. Liz, it's your cocktail. Do your thing.
Okay. So, all right. Okay, guys, here I'm gonna go. Here I go.
Here you go. Go. Do it.
Okay,
I'm
gonna do, because I haven't used them yet, I'm just gonna use classic Ango in there. And I'm gonna do you know what? I'm going to do almost a quarter ounce of cinnamon syrup, and I'm gonna do a tiny bit of mango because what the fuck?
So a lot of cinnamon, a little bit of mango. Yes, I love that.
Yes. Who knows? Who knows how this is gonna go?
Spicy and fruity.
Yeah. Who knows? Okay, cool. So I'm doing a split. So I'm going to mezcal. So I'll do 1 ounce of mezcal and 1 ounce of fucking malort. Get funky. Yeah.
I love this. I'm excited about this.
No idea what's gonna happen.
Something good, I bet. Maybe.
All right. I don't have choices for the twist because I only have a lemon. Oh, I was like, oh my God. I was like, where'd my lemon go? My phone is resting on it so that it's at an angle.
All right.
Like tilted towards my face. My phone is on the lemon. Here it is. Okay, cool. Guys, what's gonna happen? Making a nice thick lemon twist. I did it. I finally have the confidence to do it by myself. Back in the old days when we were in the same room, I was scared of doing the twist.
I am so proud.
Now I have no fear. All right. Well.
How is it? Drink it.
Cheers.
Yes.
I'm gonna. Okay. Cheers. Here I go. Cheers. Hey. You know what, guys? That's not half bad. That is funky it's fruity, and it's a little savory and spicy. I'm not getting the shock of the Malort that I did when I took the shot.
Powerful.
So it's working. It's actually, you know what? I kind of feel like the Malort is bringing everyone together in this glass.
I think Malort's a good ingredient in drinks. Like, it's such a malign spirit, but if you know how it works, you can do really good things with it. So I'm down. I love that we have Malort. Thank you to those that sent us Malort.
Thank you so much.
I'm so excited.
Yes, we've got it. And this is, you know what? It's funny because this similarly to the unexpected version of the old fashioned that we called the summer old fashioned for you, that surprising eucalyptus in there. This also tastes very summery. And
I mean, I think that's
like savory and spicy at the same time.
Well, that reminds me. I know we're going to do one more drink, and we talked about it earlier, and now I forgot. It was a mint syrup. There was some other stuff. Oh gosh, what did you guys? Moonshine and bourbon, right? Moonshine and
bourbon.
Let me go back. Michael, you had a great suggestion. I'm going to make the drink you suggested. Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Moonshine, bourbon. What was it? Okay. Is that the one? No. Where is it?
Yeah.
Moonshine, bourbon, mint, honey, dandelion bitters. Okay. All right. We're going to do that.
I'm excited.
I'm going to start with the bitters because that's what you should do it. So I'm going to do these dandelion. These are dandelion burdock bitters. I've had these forever. I got these for a cocktail competition. Like the first cocktail competition that I won, like 8 years ago, I got these bitters. And I went into it, and I went first in this cocktail competition, and I was so sure that I wouldn't win that I got incredibly drunk and cried in the bathroom, and somebody had to come get me out of the bathroom because I was crying because I thought for sure I'd lost and tell me that I'd won. And
oh my God.
I don't remember anything past that. This is why I don't enter cocktail competitions. It's not like I believe in my skills to a certain extent, but actually competing is so hard for me. It's so like I just get in my own head and it's almost worse when I do win than when I lose.
I mean, I like the idea of a cocktail competition because that's something that like you're gonna like. You're also like as a bartender, you're used to working under pressure. So while you're doing the thing, you're not going to get like the immediate effects of anxiety. You're gonna like be running off of adrenaline, and you're used to working under pressure in that way. I kind of like. That seems like a very cinematic moment to me because I love the idea of, I don't love the idea of you crying, but I love the idea of like being in that moment where you're like you're having all of that come down and then it being broken by, no, but you won. Like,
oh no, like it totally was one of those moments where I didn't believe I won at the time. Like I totally I performed, and I mean this is it's totally like par for the course. Like the judges look at you like you're just the biggest idiot. Like they don't work like this was I don't know anybody out there that wants a window into cocktail competitions. So there's a lot of different formats for them. This one in particular was me making a cocktail behind a bar while the 5 judges sat immediately across from me, and then a sea of people just drunk and drinking we're behind them, and the people that and you have 2 minutes to perform, to make your drink, and you have to, while you're making your drink, you have to tell the story of your drink. So it's not just make your drink, it's not just make your drink right, it's make your drink and tell the story of your drink. So it was a lot. This is I fucking love this shit. I love it. I'm just bad at it. I think it's great that people do it, but I'm just bad at it. So
you're
I show
not
up.
bad at it though, because you won.
Well, no, but I didn't think I would. Like, I was looking at these people and I was like, I did my best work. Like, I put out this cocktail and they just like all like nodded to me with like scour, like just angry faces. And I was like, I definitely fucked that up. I failed. So I got fucked up. I just got fucked up drunk because I thought I was just absolutely didn't win, like didn't get close to winning. And then I won, and it was just so like not what I expected because they were so mean to me when they judged my cocktails. I just couldn't imagine that I won. I don't like, it just is what it is. Like they judge you on like your hand motions. Like, so you're talking, but you're also being judged on how you jigger, how you use your hands, how clean your bar rag is. They make you like this one. I had to work over top of a white cloth, so they would judge the white cloth.
So they can see everything.
So it was just a lot going on. So I have to present myself. I have to be like personable and cute, but I also have to like make these drinks perfectly. But I also can't spill. Like it's a lot. So I love recipe competitions. They're fucking hard.
I feel like that's very anti-bartending because.
Oh no, because we work.
The idea of not
spilling. We do our jobs under heat. Like we don't have perfect circumstances to do our job, so it is kind of different. Like in that way, like it's always important that people like the drink that they get. But I do agree with you. Like that's the big difference. Is like if I fuck up something when I'm bartending, even if I'm busy, even like. Like I got 10 customers waiting for me, I will remake that drink and make somebody like,
because it's more about your service and your attitude with that. That's insane. I kind of like, I felt the same. What I'm going to say sounds completely unrelated, but when I was a lifeguard, there were lifeguarding competitions and I was like, I was asked to be at one point. I was working at a rec center, and they participated in lifeguarding competitions, and I was like asked to be on the team, and I was like, why would I want to do? That's not what lifeguarding is about.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it's like like it's like all competitions. It's like about performing your skills and under pressure and under judgment so that you like have a ridiculous environment that's never going to be real life that like puts you under an immense amount of pressure, because in the real world, like real life pressure is always going to be like, that's going to be a different card than like competition pressure. Like performative pressure is different than real life pressure. And you're going to behave differently, but like that's the only thing I can compare it to that I had like any sort of experience. I didn't do lifeguarding competitions even, but like I was just like, that seems ridiculous. I understand why they do it, because it encourages like being really great and practice at these skills, but like it just seems so strange to do that as a competition. Life-saving competitions. I don't know. That's my take on it. But in any case, it's very impressive that you perform as well as you do, because I've seen you behind the bar and what good service you provide. And then like the fact that like even under that crazy, ridiculous pressure of like a competition environment that you fucking won. That's amazing. That's awesome.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I love what I do. I respect it, but there's, I don't think people should be as stressed out as much as they are. Like, I think the competitive nature of bartending, I have to do it sometimes, but I don't love it. So I don't know. It's cool. I'm happy to have won. I got to donate a bunch of money to racist the group that were at the border at the time. Like this was like right when all the bullshit Texas. Started. Yes. Yeah. So that's what like I got. I got to donate like $10,000 to like support at the border. So that means a lot to me. But like
for a good cause, that's awesome.
For a good cause, I'll get down with it. I don't really. I think every bartender is unique, and I think like to me goes into art. Like I don't know, we all do our own things, like whatever. But I am distracted from the fact that you guys gave me a cocktail to make, and then I started to make it, and then I got confused, and then I don't know what I was doing.
So what do you have so far?
Right.
What did you put in the
I
in the glass?
have moonshine. I have honey syrup. I have bitters. I guess we're good. I guess this is it.
That sounds good. That sounds great.
I didn't put ice in it.
Where's
what are we doing? We care so much about other things. We don't care as much about this shit. And that's actually true. Moonshine, bourbon, mint, honey, dandelion bitters. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. That is the thing.
Mint, honey, dandelion bitter. Oh, okay, cool.
The mint honey is already in there. I just needed to do the bitters.
Awesome.
I didn't put bourbon in there either. So what this is an ounce of bourbon, an ounce of moonshine, a few dashes of dandelion bitters, and 3/4 ounce of mint syrup.
Okay. This sounds really good. This sounds beautiful, actually. This sounds like bees buzzing in a field in West Virginia.
Yes. Thank you, Michael, for reminding me the drink I was supposed to make that you instructed me to make. I mean that.
Mm-hmm.
You're the damn MVP.
I like Drew's comment of now I fully understand the cheapest and most expensive ingredient ordering. Because if you get distracted in the middle of making a cocktail and you forget what you've already put in there, at least you haven't doubled any of the expensive things. I don't know if that was the meaning behind that comment, but that's my brain.
I can't say this. This is fucking good.
It sounds fucking good.
It's fragrant. It's bright. It's grassy. It's floral. Like this is a drink that I think I could sell to people. So, Michael, thank you. This is the Michael. No, Joseph, you're right. This is absolutely the Michael. Michael, you have your own cocktail on my next menu if I ever bargain. We're working on it. We'll get there. But this is actually really delicious and.
Awesome.
Well, I've actually, it's funny because I've had a drink, Drew, I don't know where you're from, but I've had a drink called the Ohio River Road on my menu before, in homage to my family that grew up there. And it was like tomatoes and honeysuckle and like very floral gin. It was a really good cocktail.
Tomatoes. That sounds awesome.
You know, I'm all about like making cocktails make sense with the flavors that I grew up with. So I think that, you know, dandelion jelly. Like I remember my grandparents making it. I've always been fascinated by that flavor, but it's kind of hard to it's hard to capture, and that's the flavor that cocktail competition I'm talking about. Like I made dandelion tea infused with I did cold brew dandelion tea infused with Cayman tea. So it was like a black tea infused with dandelion that I did cold brew style to win that competition. Like, I don't know. But to me, that's just what I grew up with, and I'm using that knowledge to get points for, which I guess we all do. We all we bring the thing to the table that's unique to us and we get money for it. Yeah. That's great. But absolutely cool. Absolutely badass. Okay. I think, do we have any other cocktails we want to make, or can I click over to the comments and just answer?
Let's take some comments. Let's take some questions. Okay. I'm still happily sipping on this Malort based old fashioned. It's great. I don't know if this has anything to do with anything, but as a science experiment in 7th grade, we fried dandelions and ate them. I think my teacher was just weird because it doesn't,
cool, though.
I can't imagine that I don't know if I can imagine that is teaching you anything except for maybe that like plants are edible. Some plants are edible. I don't know. We went out into the field and we picked dandelions and then we fried them up in batter. So it really just tasted like batter. There's no point to this story. That was just what I thought of when I was thinking of dandelions.
Yeah.
They're edible in many ways.
They are. They have, and I mean, I've done dandelion tea, like even like the dandelion bitters they have. Like dandelion is very bitter.
Yeah, I was trying to think of. I guess that's what I was trying to think of the taste of it.
It's very bitter
because I've had dandelion tea. Dandelion tea is supposed to be really good for menstrual stuff. Little tip for anyone who has a uterus: dandelion tea is really good for menstrual pain. But I just remember it tasting really earthy. I don't remember the fried dandelions tasting that way because they were fried. So they tasted like fried batter.
Well, that's valid. Well, all right. So dandelions, I mean, tasty, but
yeah, totally. And a really cool ingredient. You have hiccups?
I have the hiccups right now, so I'm trying to like have a conversation, but also deal with my hiccups. So why don't you talk for a minute?
Let me read some. Okay. So, yeah, I haven't. Pete says I haven't eaten a dandelion, but they kept me busy as a kid. Same, blowing the heck out of those seeds, spreading more dandelions around. I like the idea of like dandelions as a weed only because like they grow where we don't want them to. They're just a really fucking strong plant. They're like, we're taking over. We like it here. We're going to bring all our friends. Yes. Let me read some comments here. And then, I should have ended that story with I found $5, but I'm not a great liar, guys. That's my confession. I'm not a great liar. And I've never found $5. I have found more money than that. And then, you know, I'm in New York, so it went. I actually found $20 on the street once, and then immediately encountered somebody who needed subway fare and was in scrubs, had like a badge and stuff, like they were training at the hospital and they needed to swipe in. So I was like, oh, this must be for you. I just found this, because I looked around for a while to try to find somebody who dropped it, but found $5 in the register at Chili's. What does that mean? I'm sorry, I don't get the joke, because Chili's is bankrupt. Is that the joke? Oh, I have a question for you, Taylor, if you can take a question.
I'm just trying to not hiccup anymore, but sure, give me a question.
Okay. Lauren asked, do you have your eye on a funky flavored bitters that you've never tried in a drink? Funky bitters you've never tried in a drink.
I mean, I'm always, bitters are weird because they're inexpensive to make, and I think that people discount the people that make them too much. Just gonna hang up through the whole thing.
I'm sorry.
No,
that wasn't the point of me taking over the chat.
Yeah, you just putting it back to me. Thank you
I'm
so much.
I'm sorry.
I would like to have more floral bitters. I don't know. Yes, there are a lot of floral. There are a lot of floral bitters out there. Bitters out there that I want to. But I could have more to say than right now when I'm trying to just not hiccup. But hopefully Liz can just handle the chat for a minute while I stop hiccuping. Liz, hopefully.
I would really like to expand my bitters knowledge. At the moment, I only have 2 bitters. I have Ango and I have orange bitters. I am looking to expand my bitter repertoire, as they say, repertoire. Funny story. I started learning French on Duolingo. And the thing is, there are many, many words in French that sound the same and are spelled differently. And the only way that you can know that they're saying different things is through context, literally. There are the word vert could be green, it could be glass, it could be like there are so many sounds that sound the same. Okay, here's a question for me. What's your favorite drink you created / learned to make without Taylor's input? Ooh. I don't know that I can really say that, because my favorite go-to is a sour build, and I don't think I would have the same knowledge that I do of what makes a sour work if I didn't know Taylor and talk to Taylor about it. Like, I really didn't know what that meant. And that just shows how lazy I was learning bartending. Because no one taught it to me directly. And although I had a book that I read, I was more interested in memorizing the things that I needed to know than actually having a conceptual understanding of it. But I really go back to the sour build a lot, because it's so applicable in so many ways. Like, really, you're always going to have something that works with that. And yeah, that's my answer to that. What's my go-to? Joe asked, what's my go-to drink? My go-to drink is wine. I like wine and beer and cider, because I don't have to do any work to make it. But my go-to drink, also, like my go-to cocktail to actually mix and make myself, again, I'm going to go back to the sour, because it's so easy and applicable to a lot of the things that you just have really available. But now that I understand the build of an old fashioned, I think that I'm going to be expanding the kind of go-to cocktail that I have, because I understand how that works and what that build is. So that's cool. Do you still have hiccups?
No, I'm good. Sorry.
Okay, good. I just wanted to check on you. Is there a place y'all know? Oh, Michael asks, is there a place y'all know where to go online for bitters and stuff? Because in other parts of the country, they don't really have the same stuff as we have here in New York. So I think, I don't know, Cocktail Kingdom has supplies, has like bar supplies, right? Do they have, I think that you could really, I think there's probably, I don't quote me on this, because I haven't checked in your area, but if you check in your area, there's probably some kind of state store that has, or I mean, there has to be, the fact is, there has to be stores that supply the bars that you visit. Yeah. So you can probably find those online. I think we both use local stores that whenever we order from something, we order from local stores. So, and definitely that's a good thing to do is to support your local supplier, your local, like, even if it's a bigger liquor store, they're still local. So it's still good to support them. And, I mean, yeah, so I don't have a great answer for that, but I think that if you look for those resources online, you're going to find something local. We both use something local, and I don't know if I would be excited about like a national brand that was shipping. Like I don't, I don't want to tell anybody to order off of Amazon. So I actually don't know if they sell liquor, but if they did, I would not order from them. Okay, good. Cool. So,
Okay.
A question.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
So asked, I don't drink a lot of alcohol, spirits in my place. What would you recommend as I get as a base set so it can try a few different cocktail things? I think we are going to at some point do a kind of bar essentials video, but like, I think my advice is to start with the things that are interesting to you, maybe like things that you already find yourself drinking. If you're drinking cocktails, think about what is in those cocktails, what base spirits you tend to go for, and start with that so you can experiment with that and then get curious about other spirits. I don't know. Do you have anything about any advice for starting your bar essentials?
No, I mean, I have ideas about what a essential bar needs, but as far as just getting off the ground, no.
Yeah, go with what you tend to like yourself, for sure. Have I watched Hustlers yet? No, I have not watched Hustlers yet. But I will. It's on the docket. What's my favorite style of beer? I like sours, actually. Like I like beers that have a citrus to them. So I definitely like, and I do tend to like, I used to like IPAs when I was just learning about beer. And I think that helped in a lot of like my knowledge of what hops tasted like having a reference for hops, and also this is a really stupid thing, but I used to drink IPAs because I could taste the hops, and so I felt like I could know when I was I could use it as a meter for how, if I was going to drink a lot of beer, for how drunk I would get. IPAs tend to be higher in alcohol content, so if you drink IPAs, you're going to get drunk faster. Something that's interesting knowledge to know as a young person, not something I'm necessarily interested in today, because I would like to just be involved for a long time instead of getting drunk as fast as possible. So I won't say that I have a go-to beer, because I'm really interested in trying a lot of different kinds of beer. I like trying it. I like experiencing that. I like tasting different stuff. Yeah. So if anybody has any other questions for us, we are here, and here we are. Are your hiccups gone?
Yeah, they've been gone for a minute. I said that, but yes, they've been gone for a minute.
Yes. Yes. So great.
Okay, well, yeah, so we're gonna probably get off here. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully we gave you some flexibility about the old-fashioned build. 2 ounces of base spirit, 1/4 ounce of a sweet, a few dashes of a bitter, maybe a twist is important. Please don't forget that. Yeah, hopefully, I know it feels weird to do this because there's so much else going on in the world right now. So thank you for hanging with us. Yeah, just thank you for being here. So
thank you for being here. And if you have the means, please donate to Black Lives Matter. Please donate to people who are active in your community and standing up for the rights of other people and the lives of other people. Thank you so much for everybody who's joined in. And yeah, that's it. So
okay, I'm gonna just click back over the chat, see if anybody else has anything else to add. Any questions? And then we'll hang out and we'll get out of here.
Yeah. How did I do my rosemary syrup? Very simple, the same way you would do any syrup infusion. You're going to do equal parts sugar to water, incorporate it in a pot on the stove, get it to boiling, turn the heat off, and then add whatever infusion you have. So I did equal parts sugar, water, brought it to a boil, turned the heat off as I added rosemary sprigs to it, and just wait until it cools, and then you can strain it, and there's your syrup. Any other questions?
Someone asked me if they have a favorite variation of Manhattan. Me personally, I like a Rob Roy. I like a Scotch Manhattan. So I don't know if that means anything to you.
Roy's are great.
There's that. Yeah, so I don't know. You guys hang in there. Thank you for coming out. Means a lot to us.
I think, it really does. Thank you so much for continued support. I think we're about to sign off. So thank you so much for being here. And we love you. Stay strong and stand up for others in your community. So, yes. Today.